Being a sea fisherman,
Yes.
a very keen sea angler, so how come you started taking interest in freshwater fishing, especially pike?
Yeah, pike. Well, funny enough, I had this thought myself. I started hanging around with one of my good friends at the minute, Christy. He's a keen fisherman too. He's
Anglerholics
32 on
Shout out to
Instagram.
him.
Yeah, he does a
Yeah, he's
freshwater,
a big piker.
yeah, pike fishing, salmon fishing, trout fishing, sea trout fishing. He's not just limited to sea angling, which I
Yep.
would have been. The more I spent time with him, he really introduced me to the idea of freshwater fishing. And yeah, so he said we should go fish for pike someday. It's very similar setup to sea fishing. You know, you're running ledger rig, you're by your traces, stuff that I know anyway. Different rods, different pods, stuff like that, but yeah, very similarities. And we went fishing for pike with Anglerholics, yeah, and we went in a skilling, and I just fell in love with it instantly, and I really enjoyed it. So invested some time in getting a new setup, new rods, reels and pods.
Brilliant.
And all the rest, bait alarms, fully kitted out, yeah.
You'll actually enjoy it in the long run.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I'll
I've
judge.
always been a freshwater
Absolutely.
fisherman. I took up sea fishing about
Yeah.
2 years ago in 2020. I've done it way before, years ago. I never used any professional
Yeah.
tackle, you know.
It's
I
wh-
started taking this seriously about 2 years ago. But
Absolutely,
now,
yeah.
once a piker, once freshwater angler, always a freshwater
Yeah,
angler.
definitely, yeah. A good wee pike trace we're working with there today. So it's just your steel leader there, it's about £30, and then it comes down into two treble hooks, which is like, it's kind of like a panel style setup, like in the sea fishing. You have a hook at the bottom of the bait and then another hook at the top of the bait. Only difference is it's a full dead bait we'll be using, like a mackerel or a roach or something like that, and about £30 of steel wire attached to a swivel on the end of our rod then, and there'll be a weight just sitting above it, and yeah, that will bait elastic on a full fish bait then and cast it out, let it sink to the bottom for pike, and that's how we dead bait for pike apparently. It's my first time, I wouldn't know too much into it, but it's very similar to a running ledger rig you would use for, you know, drop down conger baits. Very similar to a running ledger rig, but just a panel style treble hook setup. So yeah, you got a full bait on here now, Christy.
Don't use frozen bait.
Don't use frozen bait because it's still hard to get the hooks into. We didn't give it time to defrost there, but he's just sitting in the.
Very bit actually big.
He's just sitting in the hook. There, the treble hooks. See, pike will take these baits full, so they will. There's big alligator mouths on them.
That's right, and you've bait elastic a shite on it then.
I'm just mummify it now with the bait elastic. It's just a frozen roach bait we took out of the tackle shop here in Enniskillen, so that's where we're fishing here today as well. The Lough Erne, it's loads of wee lakes, canals and rivers that run into itself, so
It's flooded.
it's flooded today because we came down after a storm. We're relatively far back from where we want to be fishing, but it was a bit of a mission to even drive down here, but we still managed it. And that's what we're left with there.
You want to inject that kind, do you?
Oh no, I'll let you do that. But that's just, do you have a weight on that, do you?
Yeah, it's up there.
So that's just his main line there. So that's just the main line there, coming down to a watch weight, and then a bit of beads, and then just your trace then. What Christy's doing now, he's adding some mackerel oil. Injecting it is going in, is it? Probably because it's so frozen.
It's frozen solid.
But that's,
If it wasn't frozen, it would go on through it.
yeah, it's going in there now. Oh, jeepers.
Don't waste it. I worked it out, lad.
It's just a,
Nope.
that's fish oil there from holy mackerel. Extra attraction there, so it's like mackerel oil that will, we have a full ass drum there of it, and then we put it into a wee syringe like that, so you're just injecting injecting bait with it. You're injecting all the blood, not blood, the mackerel oil into the bait for extra scent attraction, and that's it. That's how I'll just show the, you can see the oil making a slick there in the water. Jesus, that's mental. That is absolute mental. But that's it anyway. That's his rig setup for these mainline bead, weight, another bead, and then just tied on his trace we talked about earlier, and that's it. Let her sit to the bottom then.
And as you can see, we're in flooded water.
We're in flooded water, so that's it. We'll hopefully have a fish to show you in a bit, folks, but all steel line because pike have alligator teeth, and that's it. The thing about it as well, pike will often take a lure. So I'm just using the Master Baits laser minnows. They're actually good for bass down the country in Wicklow and Wexford and even Waterford at times. I've been selling them and getting good response on them. I'm going to try them for pike, so it'll be good crack if I get one on a pike. The thing with it as well, obviously, the rod I'm using is just the old Ugly Stick GX2, 20 gram rated with Abu Cardinal, 20 pound line. Obviously with teeth and pike I have just a little steel leader here as well, so I'll nut that on then and attach the laser minnow onto that, and I'll spin with that, get a few shots of that, and if I get a pike on the lure on the surface it would be class. But I hear, correct me if I'm wrong, I've heard that pike, and we're fishing now in the mid-December, pike in the winter go for dead baits. They're not as active in the winter months. They go more for dead baits, such as, you know, dead fish floating about. They're not as active and lively for stuff swimming around. But I'm gonna try a lure anyway, and I'll see the crack anyway, and sure, hopefully I'll have something for you. So that's just the old lure there I'm opting for. It's the old Master Baits laser minnow. They're bass lure and they're successful on the bass too. That's the smaller version. I think it's 11-12 centimeter. I have them in 15 centimeter as well, but you can see it there attached to the steel trace just because of the teeth on the pike. Just going to focus in there on the steel, but yeah, that's what we're dealing with. That attached to that, spin with that, and we'll hopefully have a pike. That's it. Is he there yet? Good man, Christy. Christy had a run there on the pike. And he's just trying to get her now. Oh my god. This is so exciting.
He looks small up now.
Watch your other line there too, Christy.
Yeah.
Fuck, this is class. Oh my god, that's...
Nice bait, lad. Don't think ideal now with this flood. Crossing the water, Take it off.
Take it off.
He caught me on our line.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh, for sake.
I felt me on our line go.
again, just down here at Lower Lough Erne, fishing for some pike. First time solo fishing pike by myself, so hopefully I get something to show you. Conditions, you can see, it's absolutely lovely. It's about 4 degrees there at the minute, and there's about 6 kilometre wind, so it's just nothing there. It's just lovely. Pike fishing, yeah, it's quite different to sea angling, but it's quite the same as well. The way I'm doing it is it's a method called deadbaiting. You fish effectively a dead bait on the bottom through a ledger setup, which is the rig I'll be using. It's very similar to a running ledger rig in the sea angling, but it's made from wire material, and it's tied with treble hooks as opposed to single hooks because the pike's mouth is that bony. It's like a pennel style wire trace with treble hooks, if that makes sense. Yeah, the baits then I'm using is just a bit of one rod's fishing roach, whole roach. The other is fishing 2-year-old granny's freezer mackerel, so be interesting to see if we get a pike on that. But yeah, I'm gonna get the lure fishing setup going as well. Yeah, so I'm out here for the day and hopefully have a fish to show the audience back home. So that was my first ever solo fishing for pike session in there. Didn't catch any fish, but obviously it didn't stop me from going the next couple of days. No fish at all, not even a bite, not even a run. Pretty shitty if you ask me. But that's it, we strive for the next one. Rig are you using there, Jack?
It's just a handmade rig. I made mine myself. It's a 40-pound Tronics Pro wire.
Yes.
With 2 size 4 treble hooks and just a provisional pop-up.
Yeah.
I forgot to bring the proper ones.
Mm-hmm.
Inject the wee scad with red holy mackerel oil.
Yeah.
Shout out to Darren Maggot. Excellent job. Got me a nice 12-pounder today, so.
Yeah, brilliant. That's it there. It's some stuff. I would use that for my conger fishing.
Fantastic.
All that
Absolutely
jazz.
fantastic.
So, yeah, it's good stuff.
Smelly. Lovely colour.
And that's just a scad, is it?
Yeah, it's
Nice oily
headless.
fish. You can
for
use
some
them
reason
for
headless.
sea fishing too, can't you?
What is it?
You can use that for the sea fishing.
The oil?
No, the scad.
Oh, the scad, yeah, of course.
Be good conger bait.
Apparently it's a great conger bait. Never really used them, but I suppose she did the job same as mackerel.
Yeah.
It's oily, smelly, so.
Yeah. And that rig,
We'll
it's
see why
very
not.
similar to a running ledger rig.
Yeah, that's what it basically is. Just a 3-ounce weight running online. That's what it is.
It's very similar to, I would call it a running ledger
It's very
panel
similar
rig.
to your prototype rig.
Yeah, very similar to the ones coming out from myself.
Yep. Let's give it a cast.
So that's it there, very simple. Is the weight above the line. You can
Jesus,
see
what
the
happened
the oil cloud there from the
there? Yeah, it's
that's
mental.
oily
It's
stuff. Oh my god,
fantastic.
that's incredible, the oil you get from that.
There's still plenty left in the fish.
Yeah, plenty
Nice
left in
and
the
thick.
fish. Right, we'll get her winged out here now and we'll get hopefully another double
Hopefully.
figure pike on the end of it.
Crossed.
So yeah, as I was saying, it's very similar to a running ledger panel rig with the two hooks above the
The same concept,
yeah,
basically.
same concept.
Simplest rig you can use for
Yeah.
Ledgering for pike.
Ledgering for pike, dead baiting. Yeah. It done us good already, so we'll hopefully get another one.
Or two more.
And that's just the setup. It's like a rod pod, it's called.
That's a very simple rod pod. I'm not investing big money in this
Yeah.
stuff, you know. But
There's bait alarms on the end of
two
the two.
saber bait alarms,
Mhm.
which are not overly expensive either, but done me very well for over a year.
Yeah.
So again, they went through storms
Yeah.
and
So effectively, you have the line running completely loose on the
yes, I
spill.
don't use bobbins or anything
Yeah.
to keep the line tight. Just simple as that.
Yeah.
Does
So
it make
as
the
you can
bites,
see,
as you've seen earlier on.
And that beeps there
big
from
run.
Yeah. Now, pike, they grab the bait and run, and if they feel any resistance, they tend to drop it. So you apparently you want it
You want the line
running
loose-ish,
loose as possible,
running
effectively,
free.
and then the bait alarm will pick up any knocks or
Yep.
that sort of stuff. That's
Once you
Jack's
see your
setup there.
first, once you see the bite, never strike straight away.
Never strike straight away. Yeah.
The pike might be, well, it is interesting in the bite, but it may drop it, come
Yes.
back to it again. You know,
Mhm.
so you just don't know. You may lose a fish over a
Yeah.
lifetime, basically. You know.
Brilliant. So yeah, we're just fishing, as you can see, a nice wee lake setup here, and that's my rod pod with the bait alarm as well. I just got two new Fox deadbait Warrior rods, so yeah, I'm just using the beach reels at the minute, but as you can see, the spool is completely loose. So, and it's beeping there as well, so bait alarm doing its job. So yeah, that's the setup. I'm using roach there at the minute, injected with the holy mackerel fish oil as well, so yeah, we'll hopefully get another few fish for the camera. We're in business here.
Yes, that's what I came here for. Actually, it's not the biggest one, I think.
But that's why we're here. We're here nailing pike.
That's the jack pike.
Are we Jackie boy? Oh, delighted.
She's not really fighting.
This is NA Fishing Adventures. Jack here.
How's it going, folks?
He's showing me the ropes on the pike fishing.
First fish over here, first pike over here.
We're sitting here on the 11th of January, just doing a bit of freshwater piking.
Why is it so?
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Nah, it's a jack pike. It's not a big fish, but still,
That's a fish.
it's a very welcome fish.
That's a very welcome fish, and you can see by the excitement in her voice, we're absolutely
Oh,
thrilled.
yes.
Well, I net it.
Yes, please, bud.
I've never done this before, so
Just
I'm
put the net
open
in
to-
the water, I'll,
open. Oh, Jesus, she's running.
oh yeah. That's what I love the most about them. Not the big fish, like, is she? Couldn't see it in the distance, like, but
And what
Stick a
bait?
roach.
What bait? Roach.
roach,
Roach injected with holy mackerel.
red holy mackerel.
It's doing the.
Ah,
Oh
wee
dear
Jackie.
God, she's a lovely Jackie.
She's a wee small one.
Will I be able to
Yeah, just
film
put it
and net
there.
in one
Net
hand?
there. Well, she's not a wee Jackie, like. It's a lovely fish. Yep, that's us.
That's us now.
Thank you very much.
Alright guys, just down here fishing the upper Earn again. Have me mackerel joey bait and then a wire trace with a running ledger and setup. I'll just nick him through the jaw. Or will I nick him through the jaw? I'll nick him through the flank. Like so. And then this double treble then through the jaw, yeah. And that's just your pike setup there. Give that a wee bait elastic, lash it on. Yes. That's 40-pound wire. Just like so. And now just give her a wee scoot of secret recipe stuff here now. We're considering bringing out our own version of oil, but that's still in the development process just yet. Oh Jesus. One up the anal cavity as well for all the LGBT community. And that's it. So basically, the moments leading up to this next shot, I had a pike caught at my feet. I was just ready to put it in the net, and the whole trace give. Not that it was the trace, it could have been the fish nipping the line, but I was very upset for a good 20 minutes after it.
How close was your braid to the wire?
Dunno.
Did you time that properly, lad?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
That's annoying. There's a wee jack there, look about 4 or 5 pounds anyway.
Need longer wire then?
You know why I put on extra cable?
Yeah,
That's
for
right.
that.
That's the exact purpose. You imagine that now, £20 that happening. That's going to happen every time, D.
Mm-hmm.
Have you got it there?
I have the extra cable, yeah.
Why was extra cable not on? Bet you wish I took extra money for the cable now.
I wish I would put on the 80-pound braid.
They go through the braid, that doesn't matter. They go through the braid. It's alright. It's a good sign. Good stuff for you, for play, lad. That's your first one getting.
Is he there?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Was he big? He's big, is he?
Yeah.
On the master baits rig.
Master baits rig, lad.
Hope it doesn't nip now, it would be bad. Be bad for him. Right.
Get the net over here. See that was screaming?
That went fucking nuts. Hey.
Oh. Might be small, you know, a phone carrier.
You only need to be lucky the once, Christy. You need to be lucky every time.
Right, then we're trying to bring him around to you. I haven't seen anything on the surface. There he is. Wee small jack, hey?
Oh, wee jack, yeah.
Wee jack.
On the pop-up, so the pop-up is clearly making a difference.
Oh, Jesus. I'm getting back to you.
Yes!
Yes, lad. Right, let's see if we get him on that.
Fish on?
Yeah.
Oh, he's off. He's
Oh, you're down.
Will I go?
He's not going anymore. He hasn't moved.
Okay. Sure, we'll stand here and smoke a pipe. Check Snapchat.
Oh.
Good. Yeah, he's there.
Hold up. Keep it up there for a second. Don't wind up. Good man.
I think he got off.
Aye.
Yeah, he did. He got off.
I see me up from that.
Yeah.
See, me left up.
No, I got off. Yeah.
See when you left up.
Yeah.
Don't wind straight away.
Okay.
Let him.
Jesus Christ. I got off.
Just there now. Oh no. He was big fish that.
Oh no. He took the head out, kind off your bait, did he?
Big fish. Hey.
Small trebles.
Mr. Trebles, that's small trebles, more. Big trebles, do you want it?
Yeah.
That was a big fish here, boy.
Can I see the lacerations?
I didn't just pulp it.
It just went for the head, did it? Class. Well enough class, we should have had a fish. Jeez. What happened? He got off again? What? So after losing 4 fish in total whilst dead baiting, 2 of the lads decided to fish with lures. I didn't bring the lure rod like a silly whore, but going forward I will never leave the house without it. They were using the Master Baits Bass surface diving lures as shown earlier in the video. I'll show it here as well. And yeah, this is how they get on.
Fishing up here. That gate.
Jesus. It's a pike, isn't it? Jesus Christ, pike on the lure. Jesus, she's a good one too. Oh, damn.
Okay.
Snap the fucking rod.
I got the line on your all went there. Oh, what's the fish on that, lad?
Jesus, well done. Can't believe that. I do, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you didn't need them then. Do you want a picture?
Right.
Brilliant.
Hey, just cost you a roll, but.
Another pike.
Get him on there quickly. Oh, the lures. Oh, smaller yours, ball pickup, hey.
It's like a torpedo there. I should have brought my wee lure rod and my lure. Good stuff. I'll get the 3 lane out of the water here.
I need the net now, Colin.
Oh, Jesus, she's jumping.
He's on the other line now. Come on, I'm going to bring a boat line here to the net there, boys.
Lovely. Jesus. Look at the oil still coming out of the bait. Mental.
What happened there? Treble must have slipped into it.
No, that one wasn't knotted. That was just a sleeve was put on it and nothing else.
On what, the treble?
Yeah, on this top treble. Oh, Jesus, boys!
Get it up, lad, get it up.
Don't panic, get it up. You're working him already. Don't push him too much.
Hold up, you don't do always right. Hold him up, just hold him.
Look inside him.
Hold it up now. Let him do what he wants. Give him the. Get him on the helm. Put more, put more. That's you. Did you land it? Good stuff, man. What? That's 80. Get that hand from underneath him and lift him up now. That's you. Just need to hold that tight. Try and get the fingers down a little bit.
You do the net, Christy, I'll do the documenting. Going good so far. That's a rainbow, is it? No, it's a... It's just paddle ones. I thought that was rainbow colours on it. Lovely job.
Nice one, yet. Get on the hold on, we'll lift up by that.
Well done.
Jesus, boys.
Jesus, he's been through a lot, that boy.
Both sides of me. That's an old pike, lad. That's a hill. It's a long one, boys.
He's a very long one. It's about 90, is it?
Far off 90, I would say.
We'll have to weigh him because that's the biggest of today, isn't it? That's on the roach there with Master Bait's deadbait rig. Christy will get a wee snap here now. That's fantastic shooting there. So that's a, are we going to weigh him now? No. There's some
It's a long way away.
long boy, yeah. Right. Shooting on the roach.
Slam my carrot.
Now who?
Get it up.